Update. My husband left me passed out on the floor while sick and then got mad at me the next morning. I see him different now. Original post. We, 24 female and 26 male, have been married for a few years and have a baby. We had relationship issues after the baby, but I thought we had resolved them, and he promised he would be better and all that. He did get better. He did a share around the house, and house chores aren't a big issue because he just does what needs to be done without complaint or comment. But something at the back of my head felt off. I never really explored the nagging feeling, but now I realize that he never showed me any extra care. In fact, he gets upset or easily frustrated with me if I cause any extra inconvenience. Not sure how I didn't notice until now. So 2 days ago, I think I got sick. I was feeling that gross thick skin feeling and vertigo, lightheaded, I don't know. And by nighttime, I was shivering and freezing. I was still able to function, so I didn't think much of it. Complained to my husband about it, and then we went to sleep. Yesterday, I woke up feeling like my bones were lead. I don't know how I functioned yesterday, but it felt like autopilot. My boss messaged me with some tasks, so I did them on my phone before my baby woke up. Rolled out of bed and somehow took my sister to school. Came back and worked some more. Usually, I have energy to flip between being a mom and working. But yesterday, I just laid on the floor to work while my 1-year-old watched some Miss Rachel. Then had to pick up my sister from school, come home to make dinner, and by the time my husband came home, I felt dead on my feet. Anytime I moved, it felt like I was lagging and my body couldn't keep up. I told my husband this a few times. We ate, I put away the leftovers, and put the baby to sleep while my husband went to his office to do some quick work. After this, I don't really remember because my brain was foggy. I found myself in his office. We exchanged a few words, but I don't remember what. And the next thing I knew, I woke up alone in his office on the floor. I felt so heavy and out of it. It took so much effort to get up. But when I got out, all the lights were off, the kitchen was not touched, and he was in bed. I just stood in the kitchen and realized that he just doesn't care. I already knew he wasn't going to clean the kitchen tomorrow, and that he didn't care. I felt off. I had a busy day planned, and I didn't have time to wash all the dishes the next day. So I loaded the dishwasher and then went to bed. I laid down, and 5 minutes later, my husband, very angrily, told me to turn off the lights in the kitchen. At this point, I had no energy to deal with him, so I ignored him and fell asleep. The next morning, today, I woke up covered in sweat, but that gross feeling was gone. That's when I realized that I was sick. My husband was upset with me. He wouldn't talk or look at me and was stomping around. I tried to ask him about yesterday, but he just grumbled something about me confusing him. Everything from yesterday caught up, and I just can't see him the same. I realized that he has never taken care of me or done anything that was inconvenient for him. I've been sick before, and every time it's the same thing. He gets upset at me somehow. After I had a baby, he was upset that nothing was kept up around the house, yet got angry with me when I fainted from overexertion at 2 weeks postpartum. I remember him yelling at me that I did this to myself and it was my fault for not taking care of myself, even though just 2 days before. He was telling me that he was angry with me for not keeping up with laundry and that I needed to clean the kitchen because it was starting to smell and he didn't want to cook anymore. Don't even get me started on how he never woke up at night. All these memories hit me, and I just am disgusted by him. How did I not see this? What do I even do? I'm going to stop here before the post gets too long. Edit. He just texted me saying he's beat and could barely brush his teeth this morning. I don't even know what to respond. I can't believe I took care of this man every time he got sick and after 2 surgeries. You didn't leave the room, he did. That means at some point you were laying on the floor and he walked out and left you there and just went to bed. And turned the lights off on her too. So he knew she was laying there. Didn't freak out about any of it. Just turned the lights off and went to bed. Then got mad at her for leaving a light on. Like this man actively hates her. Wait. You passed out in front of him, and he just left you laying on the floor? I'm usually a work on things advice giver, but not here. Get a lawyer and figure out how to get out of there. That's the part I'm a little confused about. I have no idea what happened. I've only fainted once before, so I wonder if I just laid on the floor. He wouldn't talk to me this morning, and I kind of don't care to find out because it doesn't really matter. He left me there anyway. Yeah, none of what you described is okay, and I wouldn't want a child around someone with those beliefs and behaviors. Girl, you are in danger. You passed out and don't even remember what happened. You literally could have died there. Losing consciousness for a longer period of time is highly concerning. Again, you could have died. And your husband not only refused to call an ambulance, he actively ignored you in a dire condition, and that would be the best case. Worst case would be that he actively did something to cause this. You have no memory after all. This is too dangerous to talk it out. Please, get your kid and some belongings and leave. Go to your parents, friends, or a women's shelter. Get checked out by a doctor. Ask them if your fainting could be due to trauma. And most importantly, don't tell him that you are leaving. Pregnant women and women who just gave birth are at the highest risk of getting killed by their partners. He already showed you that he wouldn't care if you died. No sane person leaves someone unconscious on the floor. Now for the update. Hi, so I'm still alive. I've had a surprising amount of people message me a week or two ago, and it's very kind of you people to care. I'll go right into what happened. I went to the hospital that day, since a shocking percentage of people suspected he could have messed with something, but no. The doctor said nothing came up, but he did say I had high blood pressure and recommended me to a cardiologist. I still have a month left before the appointment. When my husband got home from work, he was acting like everything was normal. I wanted to see if he would inquire at all about my faint the night prior, but nothing. So after the baby was settled for the night, I asked him why I woke up alone in his office. He got instantly angry with me and seemed annoyed I even brought it up. He said that I was acting confusing and what was he supposed to do? I should have told him what I wanted him to do. I told him about my visit to the hospital, and he said that going to the hospital was a little much. I told him the doctor said I am showing signs of heart issues, likely caused by stress. He blew up on me, yelling that I'm causing my own early grave and that it's my fault for not taking care of myself. With that, he closed himself in the room, leaving me to clean up after dinner alone again. Except I decided that I wouldn't, so I went on the couch and watched a movie. He came out, suddenly friendly and flirty. He tried to lay with me and ask what I was doing. He kept trying to act cute, and when I wasn't showing much response to it, he got angry and stormed off, locking me out of the bedroom. The next morning, I woke up to him slamming around the kitchen and cussing about how I couldn't even properly clean the kitchen. I just went to the bedroom and went back to sleep, if you can call it that, because he kept doing things to keep me awake. He complained later that day about how he was so hungry because I didn't make him breakfast or lunch. I gave myself a break day. I didn't work, didn't focus on the house. I was just a mom and spent time with our baby. I went to the park, to the library, to my in-laws. I tried to talk to her about the heart thing, and she responded with, "Your poor husband. He's probably going to stress about this." That's when I realized I couldn't do this anymore. I got pizza for dinner and got home right after my husband. He was not happy, and it was different this time. I tried to ignore his obvious tension. He cleaned the kitchen very loudly and was muttering under his breath. I washed up our daughter and put her to bed, trying not to feel anxious. When I came out, he started talking very aggressively about how I've been letting myself get lazy and he won't take my lack of effort. A relationship is a two-way street, he said. I started yelling back about how I cook, clean, manage his child, and work at the same time. So how is it that I'm the one that's lazy when he keeps expecting me to do more things too? Things escalated, and he started throwing dishes at me. When he ran out of things to throw, he strangled me. Then he left the house, and I called the police. My baby was woken up. The neighbors were there because they heard yelling and glass breaking. It was chaos. When he came back, he tried to say I did everything. Even the bruises around my neck were self-inflicted apparently. I'm still trying to process everything. It all happened so fast. Sometimes I wonder what would have happened if I had just sucked it up and didn't rebel. Would our relationship be fine? I have my first therapy session scheduled for next Tuesday, so I guess I'll talk all about it then. My husband is at his mom's now. I'm at my grandmother's for now and have almost all my stuff out of our apartment. We have a temporary restraining order. The official hearing is tomorrow morning. I'm scared if I'm honest. I haven't seen him since that night. My daughter keeps asking me where Dad is, and I don't know what to tell her. There's my update. I feel so numb to it all. I could probably type much more that happened, but it already feels so long. Plus, I don't want to cry again. Edit. I reread this all and I sound like a big whiny baby. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. I promise I don't sound like this in person. I also wanted to add a thought. I don't know if I would have called the police and all if I had posted before. I honestly don't know. This is the scariest thing he's done to me, but he's done plenty of other things before. When I originally posted, it was more of a vent post. All your caring, kind thoughts moved me. It gave me the little push I needed. I only have my little sister and my grandmother. I can't tell my grandmother any of these details because she's too frail and sensitive. My dad was an alcoholic and died while driving under the influence. My mom left us after that for a guy in Russia. I don't know how she's doing, but she used to treat us very poorly, so I don't really care. Point is, thank you all. The responses here are too kind, and I don't even know what to say. Hey, I normally don't actually comment on these things too much, but as a literal therapist, I'm begging you to go through with the official court hearing tomorrow and leave this man. I have counseled countless women who convinced themselves that it wasn't that bad for one reason or another. It was that bad. That man could have killed you and had no problem throwing various things at you intending to cause harm. I know this is difficult and you likely feel terrified at the idea of what comes next. But whatever comes next without him is infinitely better than whatever comes next if you stay with him. I can nearly guarantee that. Both you and your child deserve better. Good luck. As a psychologist, I'm thirding this. This man is extremely dangerous, and he already tried to end you once. Please don't go anywhere near him to give him the opportunity to try again. You are not a whiner or complainer. You are verbalizing your trauma and are completely justified. It's also completely normal to feel numb and disassociate after such a trauma. Lean on your family and any other positive supports. Stick with therapy and request to file charges against this guy. Reach out to a local DV support agency and request an advocate. I wish you all the best. I'm not a psychologist, but I've survived an abusive relationship. Please listen to them, OP. Imagine someone were treating your child like this, or a close friend. This is not okay. It's scary, but trust me, it gets better. I walked out with what I could carry in paper grocery bags and only saw him again in court. My life is awesome, and I'm so grateful for the second chance. Oh my God, this update is terrifying. OP, please know that victims who experience non-fatal strangulation are 750% more likely to be murdered by the same partner in the future. I am so glad to hear you have gotten your things out and are safe, but stay vigilant. Talk to a DV shelter about how to separate safely. Good luck. OP, that statistic isn't a typo. Abusers who strangle are 750% more likely to end their partner. He's already shown how little he would care if you died on the floor in front of him. Please do not take this lightly. Also, you absolutely do not sound like a whiny baby in this post. You sound like someone who has been living with abuse for so long, you don't even know what's reasonable to expect from people. Please go to the hearing. Please continue to go to therapy. Last story. My girlfriend blindsided me by saying she doesn't want to move in together permanently. Am I wrong for being upset? My girlfriend 26 female and I 27 male were planning on moving in together permanently. A couple of months ago, we took over the lease from someone we knew who needed to move, but didn't want to pay the penalty for breaking his lease. We were in the process of deciding if we wanted to stay here or move into one of the other places that the property management company has available because this lease is up soon. But now my girlfriend has said she doesn't want us to move in together permanently, and she's already left where we live now and taken most of her things. She completely blindsided me with this. She says she realized I'm not reliable. She said I don't do enough chores. She never asked me for help, but she thinks I should just know when something needs to get done automatically. Her examples were laundry and vacuuming. She also complained that I didn't help her when we watched the sons of friends of ours. Both of them had COVID, and they asked me and my girlfriend if we could bring their sons, 6 male and 4 male, to our place until they were better. Our friends don't have family nearby, so we both agreed. My girlfriend had everything under control. And she never asked me for help or told me she was struggling. If she had, I would have helped without question. But she always had a handle on the chores, and she had things with the boys under control. I'm upset. I also don't think that someone who works from home has it easier than someone who can't work from home, or that just because she makes more means I should do more. I was thinking about proposing, and we were planning on permanently moving in together, and she just blindsided me. We went from being on track to marriage to this. I'm confused as to why you think it's normal to rely on your girlfriend to tell you when the laundry needs to be done or the house vacuumed. Do you not have eyes or a brain? OP is incompetent. He wrote this entire post and seems confused. If he truly doesn't know why the girlfriend left, she really did the right thing. Who wants to spend the rest of their life with an idiot that needs to be told to do laundry and vacuum? She even got to learn that he is also too incompetent for childcare too. Good job to the ex. Love this for her. She found this all out before signing a 1-year lease. I'm glad she did the trial run before getting stuck living with you. Let's start with the basics. You doing the vacuuming and laundry is not helping her. It is pulling your big boy pants on and contributing as an adult. Why should her cognitive load be increased because you can't adult? Stop referring to being an adult as helping her. You are 29. Surely you already did the vacuuming and laundry prior to moving in with her. So why are you incapable now? Nah, he lived with his mom, I bet. Thank goodness she found out before she accepted a proposal. Mine lived with his mom, but she was a tough Samoan woman who didn't let him sit around. He was expected to help cook, clean, do his own laundry, and help raise older siblings and relatives' babies. So when he came to me, he was already used to doing all these things. Gets home after a 12-hour shift and sees there's dirty dishes, and I have my hands full with the kids and does them. Even if I tell him, don't worry, I'll get to them. Doesn't want me to do his laundry because I'm not his mom and he's not a kid. When we had kids, he was changing all the diapers, quickly scooping her up to feed her in the middle of the night before I even woke up. Meanwhile, other men will live on their own for years, wallowing in filth and perfectly fine with it. OP's girlfriend was right to run. Nobody wants to have to be a mom to their boyfriend.